Looking to pick up your very own custom sleeves? Well, look no further. Go to yourplaymat.com where you can choose to have your very own image on the back of sleeves, or you can choose from their amazing range of pre-designed artwork ready and waiting for you. Get them shipped directly to your door and use the affiliate link and discount code down below to get 10% off. What are you waiting for? Go and grab your custom sleeves from yourplaymat.com.
What's up YouTube, Dal here from Z4 Games, and as you can see I'm bringing you an update to Bujins. That's right, Bujins got 3 brand new cards from Lightning Overdrive, and it actually makes the deck very more relevant. Now obviously it's not going to be meta defining, it's not going to go and topple the meta, but what it does is it allows you to bring and modernize Bujins a lot more. Now, gone are the days of Kaiser Coliseum control, but we've actually tried to make this build a little bit more control focused, but it's also quite heavily rank 4 combo focused as well, for those of you that want to modernize it, or those of you that prefer that style of play. And I'll also go through with a couple of upgrades that you can put into the deck should budget not be an issue for you. With all of that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more upcoming content from the channel. If you want to see a test hand or at least a duel with this video, then if you get this video to at least 50 likes, I will bring that for you this coming weekend as well. With all of that out of the way, let's dive straight into today's profile for Bujins. Now we start off with 3 of the brand new one. So Torfune is the brand new super rare that comes out in Lightning Overdrive. Whether you picked it up at your weekend or whether you're going to be looking at picking it up when the set officially drops, this card is a must at 3. So you can tribute this card to special summon 2 Bujin monsters of 2 different types from your deck in defense position, except itself. When you XYZ summon a Bujin XYZ while this card is in the graveyard, you can equip this card to it as material. Any monster destroyed by battle with that equipped monster is banished. You can only use each of the effects once per turn. Now, it's really kind of cool. It's a shame that it doesn't equip it as material. That would have been kind of cool. But the fact that it allows any of your Bujin monsters, especially when you look at Bujeti Susuano, that basically allows you to go attack all of your opponent's monsters once each. So yes, it's on a base 24, but if you're dropping like an Honest, or if you're dropping a Crane on top of it, it's going to be able to clear all of your opponent's monsters off. And then if it's equipped with Torfune, you're going to be able to banish it as well. So that's where this kind of combo plays goes from it. On top of that, you don't need to make a Bujin XYZ. This is just a 1 card, rank 4, link to anything you want. And if you're putting Bujins in the graveyard that are different types that are going to have graveyard effects, you're going to get an additional bonus from that as well. So this card, a must at 3. Now, a couple of cards that I'm not 100% set on whether I want them as at 2 or 3, but the way I've kind of figured this out is I'm actually going to be banishing a lot from my graveyard. I'm actually going to be controlling and sending a lot as well. So I've gone with triple Bujin Arisuda. A lot of people are playing 2, but this one is if a Bujin monster in your graveyard or face up from your field is banished except during the damage set, you can special summon this card from your hand in face up defense position. Once per turn during the end phase, if a Bujin card was added from your deck to your hand, except by drawing it while you controlled this face-up card, you can draw 1 card, discard 1 card. You can only control 1 Bujin Asuda. Now, of course, it says you can only control. It doesn't say you can only summon it once per turn. So this is where I'm going with this, is with the new Bujin, which is basically Pegasus, and if you can see the inspiration on this one as well, this is from all the GX era. So you've got stuff like, I think there's a Jaden, there is a Chaz, and I believe this is a Sebastian as well. But the idea is that technically if you open up multiples of this, as long as you've got the ability to banish Bujins, whether you're banishing through the brand new one of Mahitoshu, or if you're banishing through Harumi or anything like that, even if you banishing for Chaos Monsters, which, surprise, surprise, I have put 2 of them in here, you're able to pretty much just utilize this guy and keep looping it. So you would go banish 1 for Harumi or any of your other monsters, summon down Arisuda, go into a rank 4. Then you're no longer controlling an Arisuda, you can then banish again, and if you've got another Arisuda in hand, go again. Which is also why we've got triple Bujin Harumi. Now, this is where it's questionable that Harumi again could possibly be put down to 2. But the way I see it is obviously Harumi utilises Arisuda. So if you take out the Chaos Engine, which I'm currently playing, I say Chaos Engine is 2 cards, then you could probably argue about cutting these down. But the way I see it is, it's very consistent to get Bujins to the graveyard, especially from like 1 card, make a link 2, make a rank 4, whatever you need. And then it's pretty easy to banish, considering we're playing 3 copies of the Mahitoshu, and we're playing 2 Chaos Monsters as well. So we're able to banish on a consistent basis, which means these don't really come to bricks. Harumi might become more of a brick because it can't be normal summoned or set, whereas Arasuda can. So it really depends on where you're going for it. And again, with Harumi, it needs to be special summoned by banishing a Bujin monster from your graveyard. It accepts itself. And then if this card, which was special summoned this way, is destroyed by an opponent's card by battle or card effect and sent to your graveyard, from your field to the graveyard, both players have a hand. You discard one card from your opponent's hand, then your opponent discards one card. So you basically ditch one. But again, it's more reliant on the fact, again, you can only control one Harumi. So it's not a hard once per turn to summon it. It's not even a soft once per turn to summon it. You can only control one. So as long as you've got the ability to banish it, summon it, and get it off the board, or even if you want to leave Harumi on the board as 2k, you've still got the ability to link it away, do whatever you need to, and then go again. So that's where I kind of see the power plays coming from this. Then we've got triple Mahitoshu. So this one is basically based on Pegasus, as you can see. I would have liked to see this as a super as well, but I'm kind of happy as a common. So you can send one other Bujin card from your hand to the graveyard to special summon this card from the hand. So again, giving you instant rank 4 access. Like in the past, you would probably go normal Susanoo, normal Yamato, and then pretty much partial turn there, end phase, get a search. Whereas now, what you can do is you can be sending Bujins to the graveyard, which also means you're setting up your graveyard for your Chaos plays. And then this has the same effect of send one Bujin monster from your hand to the graveyard to add a Bujin monster with a different name from your graveyard to your hand. So you can add back the card you've just discarded. Or you get to banish a Bujin monster from your graveyard to send a Bujin with a different name from your deck. So again, you're then able to pretty much go, right, Foolish Burial, set up my graveyard, and I've banished from my graveyard as well. So if I've got either of these, more so the Arasuda in the hand, I get a special summon. So straight away, I get these both on board, and I haven't been able to use, I haven't been able to do anything else, or I haven't needed to do anything else. You can only use the summoning effect and the other effect of this card once per turn. So that's the little clause that this has that the others don't. We've then got two Heroku. This one is, obviously it's a vanilla, but the idea is in the Pendulum Scale, you banish this card in your Pendulum Zone, target a Bujin XYZ monster you control to special summon from your extra deck, one Bujin XYZ monster with a different name by using that target as XYZ material. So this basically gives you the ability to rank up into Amashima, or it can rank over into any of your other Bujettis, and then that also means, because most of your Bujin cards say you can only control one of them. We've then got the one Mikazuchi, so obviously this is the Chaz version of it. While a Beast Warrior Bujin monster you control is destroyed by battle or by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from the hand. Once per turn during the end phase, if a Bujin monster or monsters was sent from your hand to the graveyard, this turn while you control this face-up card, you get to add a Bujin spell or trap. So the way this works, again with the brand new one as well, because you're sending from the hand to special it, so if you normal summon Mikazuchi and then you send with this one, as long as you leave Mikazuchi, you get the search in the end phase, and what that allows you to do is that allows you to get into your Bujin Carnation or the brand new Candescence, and that sets you up for a follow-up play should your opponent clear the board. So again, like Yamato, it was more so I didn't feel right playing a Bujin deck without these cards in it, so arguably these can be cut. If you're like, right, I want to go as competitive as possible, then you'd probably put the Dragoon package in, and that's where the space comes. But I was like, I really want to keep this Bujin focused. I want to try and maintain the essence of control with the deck, but I also want to be able to utilize the modern upgrades that the brand new cards give it. And then of course we've got Triple Crane. So Crane is basically like your one-stop honest. So kind of it's searchable as well, so you keep it at 1. Keep it at 3. The one hair as well. So during the play's turn, banish this card from the graveyard, target a Beast Warrior monster you control, or Beast Warrior Bujin monster you control, and then once per turn it can't be destroyed by battle or card effect. So nice little bit of protection there. Turtle, banished to protect from target. And Quillin is banished to destroy a card. Now obviously the reason we've got with these is because with Tefuri you need to be able to summon with different types. So all of these are Beast Warriors, and then with these you've got Beast and then Wing Beast. So you'd be basically summoning out a Bujin plus a Bujingi as well. And then for the Chaos cards, I'm playing the one Diana and the one Chaos Valkyrie. So the reason we've gone with these is they're both level 4s. They both require you to banish light monsters from the graveyard, which is exactly what you've got. And then just imagining that either of these triggering banishing a Bujin while you've got Arasuda in the hand. You just special summon down Arasuda, you've got an instant rank 4, off you go, you're good to play. The one Honest, obviously Crane is searchable, you're always going to do that, but Honest in this deck is an absolute lineage, so you kind of need to play that. And then any hand traps you want, I've gone with Triple Ash Blossom, but this can be, if you want to keep the light factor because you're putting a lot of lights in the grave, it could easily be like Ghost Ogres, Veilers, anything along those lines as well. So that's it for the monster lineup. Again, a very heavy monster lineup, but like I said, the Mikazuchi and the Yamato could possibly be cut if you're like, right, I really want to try and make this as competitive or as strong as possible. That's the areas where you could play around with and improve. We've then got Triple Tenki, so basically this counts as 3 additional copies of any of your Bujin monsters, mainly going to be your Tofuri, and if you haven't got your Tofuni, you're then going to Harumi, or you're going for your Arashuda, or you're going for the Pegasus as well. The one Bujin Incarnation, I only think you really need one. So if your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you target a Bujin monster in your graveyard on one of your banished Bujin monsters, special summon them. They cannot be used as XYZ for an XYZ summon except for a Beast Warrior monster or Winged Beast type. So again, you're kind of limiting what you need, and you need to have one banished and one engraved and control no monsters. So the requirements for this is a lot more difficult to kind of fulfill. Then we've got the one brand new Bujin Incandescence. So Beast Warrior Bujin monsters you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects outright, which is really nice, except during the battle phase. So once per turn, you can send one Bujin monster from your hand or face up from the field to the graveyard to then target a face-up card your opponent controls and negate its effects until the end of the turn. During your end phase, you can send this face-up card from your field to the graveyard to target a Bujin monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Now, the reason this works out really, really well is because you bring back Yamato, you bring back Mikazuchi, and as long as you've activated the effects while you control those cards, you're then able to get an additional search, which means you've got Crane to protect you from battle. So, again, it's a little bit slower, but the whole idea of protecting all your Bujins from being destroyed by card effects, I thought was really important. And considering this is obviously slightly searchable as well, I thought it was nice to be playing it at 1. One Call by the Grave, you know, you want to make sure, mainly your Typhoon is always going to be resolving, because that's the one that hurts the most. The fact that when you get cards like this that are so good, but they tribute as cost, it's like, if you get rid of it, you pretty much got nothing. So another card you could arguably put in here is Gamma, to kind of protect, because you've got Gamma that can protect your Tofuri, Tofuni, and then of course it can protect your formation as well. And if you were playing stuff like Pot of Prosperity or Extravagance, they can also help you protect as well, and they are upgrades you can put into the deck. Then got the one Double or Nothing, because it's a rank 4 deck. One of the best rank 4 OTK plays, especially if you're not playing the Dragoon package, is of course Utopia into Utopia double into Utopia, going for a Double or Nothing OTK. Then for the trap cards, I've kind of gone with Triple Gozen Match, because I tried to keep the control factor around it. Now, if you're not playing the control factor, I've seen a lot of people playing like Droplets, Nibiru's, Go Second cards as well. Completely up to you. But the way I see this is, all of my Bujins coming from the extra deck are light, all my monsters coming from the main deck except Ash are light as well. And then even when I go into the Utopia OTK combo, it's light. So Gozen can be a very nice stall card. And I've also considered the last 2 cards of There Can Only Be One and Dogmatic Punishment. Now, I've gone with a 1-on-1 at this moment, but you could arguably swap these around. Now, the reason I've gone with Punishment is because Punishment, you don't need to go into the extra deck with your Bujins. Like, when you're playing with Crane and Honest, you're able to boost your Bujin monsters high enough as it is. On top of that, once you've got one of your XYZs like Sasano, or you've got Utopia into Double or Lightning or anything like that, you're pretty much set to go. The rest of your monsters in the main deck can flood the board and then just start poking away at your opponent. Like, keep in mind that Sasano kills all of your opponent's monsters, 9 times out of 10, because it's 2400. So as long as you boost it strong enough with an Honest or a Crane, it's going to kill all your opponent's monsters. That's when the rest of your deck can then come into play and kind of finish off the game from there. There Can Only Be One is a bit of a risky, but I kind of thought it was a little bit of a good idea, because with the Chaos monsters, you've got your Chaos Valkyrie, which is a fairy, Diana, which is a thunder, then you've got your Bujinki, Quill, Turtle, and Hare, which are beasts, you've got your Crane, which is your wing beast, but then you've got your Yamato, Mikazuchi, and all of the others that are beast warriors. So it's give and take. Give and take. It depends if you want to be going control, like I said, going old school, or if you want to be focusing more on power plays, which is where you can probably put Punishment up to 2, or this is your space for hand traps. This is where you can take out the Ash Blossoms, take out There Can Only Be One, and National Gamma package completely sorted. So that's a couple of options or alternatives for you to look into as well. Moving on to the extra deck. So, of course, we do play 2 Bujinte Saswano. So, obviously, some people do play 3. I think 2 is more than enough. The idea behind this is it requires 2 level 4 Bujins. Attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. And once a turn, you detach an XYZ from this card to take 1 Bujin monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. So, obviously, the way this works is straight away, once per turn, detach an XYZ, add Crane, and then you're good to kind of protect from there. We've got the one Tsukiyomi, obviously, detach one to ditch your hand, draw 2. So obviously that can set up your graveyard as well. Keep in mind as well, it also has an additional effect. So you can target, when this card leaves because of an opponent's card effect, you can target a level 4 Beast Warrior, Bujin monster in your graveyard. up to the number of XYZ materials this card had on the field and special summon them. So, kind of nice. And again, you can only control one of them. Amaterasu gives you an effect depending on whose turn it is. This does require 3 level 4s, but that's where the Heroku lets you cheese this out because you put it on top of one of these two, and then you're no longer controlling. So, like if you made a Susanoo, you detach, you search. Now you can only control one Susanoo, but its search effect isn't a hard once per turn. So the idea is you make Susanoo, detach, make your search, play the scale turns it into an Amaterasu gets searches as well, and then you can make a second Susanoo, so you're good to go. So the Amaterasu is during your turn, you can target one of your banished level 4 or lowers and special summon it. During your opponent's turn, you target one of your banished level 4 or lowers and add it to your hand. So again, that's how you can recycle your hand traps. It is a Beast Warrior deck, so Tiger King, search out Tenki, negate the field, you're good to go. We are XYZ deck, so Zeus, you know, what more do you really want with this? If you don't have Zeus, don't worry about it. That's where Utopia and all of that package comes into it. Speaking of which, Utopia the double. Rank 4 kind of standard plays. Evil Swarm, because obviously you keep them with the light aesthetic and nuking the board. Baguska, just to kind of slow everything down, especially if you put them under Gozen or anything like that. Time Thief Reader, again, this could be any rank 4 you want. Abyss Dweller, you can also go like a Tornado Dragon as well. Drill Driver Vespanito, again, just an additional XYZ on top of a monster to give you piercing damage or anything else that you need. And then finish it off with the one Amishima and the one Elder Entity. Obviously, this come off a punishment. If you double up your punishment, you can double up the targets. But you've got a lot of flex spots in here. The only ones that, in my opinion, are not really staple, but, well, yeah, probably should be staple would be these here. And then everything from that point on, you can kind of play around with and adapt it to as your playstyle sees fit. And so that is it. A very short, sweet, simple, to-the-point Bujin update for you guys as well. Like I said, I really like the new cards. I think they're a very nice introduction or addition to the deck as well. And I'm still not set on the particular route that I've gone with this deck. I've just tried to kind of modernize it without kind of doing the same old, and I've tried to kind of make it a little bit more relevant as well to show its past capabilities and what it can actually do. So it really comes down to personal preference when you're working with this deck and how you want it to play, whether you want it to be aggressive, whether you want to be defensive. But yeah, if you do want to see a duel or test stand video with this deck, then please, of course, smash that like button, show the appreciation for the profile, and then I will bring you another video to kind of show your interest in taking it forward. But as absolutely always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, the whole 9 yards. And until next time, as absolutely always, stay safe and happy dueling.
Looking to pick up your very own custom sleeves? Well, look no further. Go to yourplaymat.com where you can choose to have your very own image on the back of sleeves, or you can choose from their amazing range of pre-designed artwork ready and waiting for you. Get them shipped directly to your door and use the affiliate link and discount code down below to get 10% off. What are you waiting for? Go and grab your custom sleeves from yourplaymat.com.